Cents Per Mile, featuring Charles Gracie and Paul Gibson, with loads of recruiting and marketing experience and backed by the largest driver audience in the world. We deliver carriers the driver perspective, find solutions, and help make sense make sense.
Thank you for tuning in to Cents Per Mile. I'm your host, Charles Gracie.
And I'm your co-host, Paul Gibson. Even if you couldn't tell, you know, the glasses. It's like the Clark Kent thing, right? Except for I look like Milton from Office Space. What's up? What are we talking about today?
The VOE madness.
Oh.
Greed, madness, all of the above. We're going to dive into this, man, because
it's a lot of things for sure. That's gonna get so you should stick around because that's gonna get gnarly. But for that, all the stuff we normally have to do. So we are everywhere you get your podcasts. We're on Apple Music, we are on Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, everywhere you get your podcasts. So if you could like, subscribe, rate, gives us more momentum, helps us get out there further. And the further we get out there, the cooler stuff we can do, like some of the cool stuff we're doing later this year that we'll get to when we get to it.
Yeah, and you can also go to centspermilepodcast.com. You can suggest a topic to be a guest or even to become a sponsor.
Sponsor? Who's our sponsor today, Charles?
Factoring can be fun. Go to TAFS.com and find out how.
Wow. I like that. I kind of want to go find out how it can be fun. But I do love TAFS, and those guys are fun, to be fair, anytime they show up. But you know, it's always not fun. The news. All right, so it's time for the news, where we go check out some of the coolest, most interesting, most relevant, or funniest, or whatever topics from the past couple weeks that we deem worthy, and we talk about them. And today, both of our articles are from CDLLife.com. Yeah, you could definitely see me wink there because my eyes look so big. But I decided to go with the theme of like people trying to make a living and terrible ways that ruin things for everybody else. So number one, we have a man arrested for stealing a brand new semi and torching it after stripping it of parts.
I was about to say torturing it. Oof.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, maybe if it was one of those maximum overdrive trucks, but even then, I don't know. How sentient are they? Do they have feeling? I don't know. But yeah, so a man was arrested in connection with a brand new stolen semi truck that was stripped of parts and torched on the side of Interstate 91. 45-year-old Jason Dennis was arrested near Berlin, Connecticut on the 31st of July in connection to the theft of the Peterbilt. And yeah, so basically the guy stole it from a dealership and he stripped it for parts and then he torched it.
Yeah,
that's wild. Like, I kind of wonder, in looking at the way that he got caught, I'm sort of wondering if he would have got caught had he not lit it on fire.
Well, it said police then launched an investigation that led them to execute the search warrant of New Haven Truck and Auto Body in East New Haven. Their officers found refurbished tractor trailer and several stolen parts that were installed. Police seized the semi truck and the placed items. I mean, like, where there's one, there's probably 10 more.
But also, like, are part prices? I don't know because I haven't really kept too far up. I know that they're up, but are part prices up so high that it's like better to just steal a brand new tractor and like strip the parts than it is to pay like the imported tariff prices?
I'm not sure that you could have a direct correlation there. I see what you're trying to do, and we have more important things to tackle today. So I'm not taking the bait, Paul.
I would disagree with that after the last few months of the news and every topic we've had, but we do have more relevant things to today's topic and more people making a living in ways that are terrible for everybody else. So we have a mechanic arrested for selling fake commercial vehicle inspection stickers to more than 150 trucking companies. So basically, he basically forged it looks like he forged state inspection stickers and sold them. So like That's yeah. So
I mean, they got him on the bingo card. They got him on dealing in proceeds of unlawful activities, forgery, corrupt organization, deceptive business practices, altered goods, theft by deception, fabricated physical evidence, unsworn falsification to authorities, altered and forged counterfeit documents or plates. I mean, yeah, this guy got slapped with the book.
yeah, but like
2 weeks later, he'll be free.
yeah, but I mean at the same time, you know, like how many I'm trying to find notation of his I want to know how much money he made.
It's totaled at 76,185 in addition.
Oh no, it was 207,892.
Oof.
Yeah. So I mean he made a couple $100,000. You know, he bought himself an okay house in a decent neighborhood in a smaller city. That's nice. You know, in today's economy, not too bad. But yeah, that's wild though. Could you imagine like the chain of that event of being a driver, getting inspected, finding out there was something wrong with your truck, having them look at the inspection sticker, tell you that it's fake, and then you have to call the company that you work for to tell your dispatcher it's fake, and then they have to call the safety director, and he gets that safety director, and they're like, what do you mean? And then you find out that like all of your trucks have fake inspection stickers.
Oh, I'm sorry, I tuned out for a moment. But Paul, I think we need to get into the main topic. I'm itching to get into this main topic.
I can tell. Yeah. All right, sweet. Let's go.
At TAFS, we offer unparalleled trucking excellence and service. Enjoy exclusive benefits like fantastic tire discounts and 1-hour advances for quick cash. Recognized as the top factoring company in 2023, we're your partner for success. Access business loans, manage finances with ease through our client portal, F2 fuel card, and mobile app. Contact us now to see how we can help your trucking business thrive.
All right, it's time for Sense Makes Sense, and none of this stuff makes sense, man. Like, the VOE process is already a dumpster fire on wheels. And somehow we found a way to make it more complicated. And I would love for someone to try to prove me otherwise. But right now it seems everything correlates back to greed and complicating the process so you can stall longer, which directly is attributed to a longer hiring process, which leaves people unemployed longer. I mean, what in the world are you all thinking out there right now? There is so much nonsense about the VOE process that needs to be addressed. And somehow we found a way to complicate a one-car funeral and put a paywall on it.
Yeah. Oh, are you okay? Are you?
No, I'm not done yet.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Collective minds, this is ludicrous.
You should say bananas because you sound like Matt Leffler right now.
This shit is bananas. No, but think about it, man. All right. I'm really trying to control what's coming out of my mouth because there's much more colorful ways to describe this. There is a lot of people out there complaining about other parties that are participating in this, and I think it's deflecting. All right, you cannot blame the platforms for doing exactly what they have to do in order to provide services for verification of employments. Companies and ATSs have to have people submitting that stuff there. And if people are pulling out of those platforms, it defeats the purpose of those platforms. And why are people pulling out of those platforms? Well, so I can nickel and dime someone for a VOE, which is required for them to get. And in the meantime, while all of this is happening, the only person getting screwed is the drivers in the length of the hiring process and the small carriers and shame on you. Now your turn.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I think it's it's
shitty.
Not surprising in the least bit. You know, I mean, there's several things. I mean, especially for the drivers end of things. You know, you finally you finally have a lot more companies that are taking the DAC a little bit less seriously because of the people who were saying terrible things on the DAC. And now you have people just straight up the VOEs, which they actually have to wait on and actually matter, whether, you take what's on them or not, like how, whatever, but like you have to wait for that now is the idea. I understand the paying for it because it does take extra time. Because I will say that can get kind of time consuming. And the bigger company you are, and especially the worse turnover you have, the more likely you are to have to fill out, VOEs.
But the thing is, it doesn't take time.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Back in the day when you would do that on like faxes, that would make sense. But like you have platforms now where all that stuff's uploaded. It's like it's a couple clicks. So that kind of feels like a cash grab.
And the thing about it, Paul, that's irritating is it was trending in the right direction. Slowly but surely, it was trending in the right direction. You had ATSs coming out there and housing all of this data at no charge to make it faster, more efficient. And then you have the bad actors come out and like, oh, well, hey, I only have to input this information in there once, but because of that time, now I'm going to assign a cost. And oh, wait, the system doesn't allow me to charge these people. So now you got to come to another system, or you got to go here. You got to reach out to me so I can nickel and dime you as a way to not only delay the process and screw the drivers over that are trying to find gainful employment, but to nickel and dime smaller carriers. More so than anything, all they did was create another bottleneck, because now instead of everything going into one system, now you got bad actor here, bad actor here. And then if that's not bad enough, the solution we as upstanding individuals of this industry have come up with is, well, if they can do it, I can do it too. And so more people are going out there. Well, if they can do it, I can do it too. If every idiot jumps off the bridge, that means we're going to join them?
Yeah, absolutely. That's how trucking works, dude. That's how we got here and why we have so many problems. Yes.
I don't understand the mentality. I would rather say in this scenario, it would have been a bigger gain as an industry to stand tall and say, no, we're not participating, and just shame those individuals into compliance.
Yeah, it would be the same idea with freight rates. And like putting a baseline on those and bottoming that out and not taking below it. It would be the same thing with freight contracts. It would be the same thing with almost every. That's not how we operate, homie.
We have social media. You have platforms like this. Have these conversations. But what you can't do, what you shouldn't do, obviously you can't do it because you've done it. But what you shouldn't do is go out there and find a way to bottleneck a system that's already had bottlenecks. And we've made major strides thanks to different platforms to improve the process and the experience. And somehow we all decided that's not the path we want to go. We want to go and complicate this even worse.
This is kind of a hot one. And I'm going to probably like make some people groan, make some people mad, make some people feel a trauma response.
So it's another day in cents per mile office.
Right. So like, and probably some people also feel trauma response because they thought they had gotten away from this term. But I mean, when you think about it from a competitive advantage standpoint, for about a decade, what's the one thing that was preached and shoved down everybody's throat at every conference and everything? Speed to lead. Right. So, I mean, if you want to like knock out your competitor and that's where you've been told, like, that's how you win, and you could punch them right in that.
You won't give us our speed limiters, we're going to hit you in the chops with VOE charges like that. Come on. Speed to lead. How fast you can get that lead in and get them on the phone and talk to them. Doesn't matter how fast, because I'm going to stall you out and charge you for a VOE.
Right. You can at a cost. Yeah. I mean, technically that would be a competitive advantage.
Does the cost come with a guarantee that you're going to get it quickly though? I have a lot of questions, Paul. I think we need to phone a friend.
That is. I wonder if there's tiers.
Paul, we need to phone a friend. I need someone that's actively out there because I have so many questions on this.
Yep.
It's almost like if we had just somebody we can pluck and bring in to shed some light on this.
I heard if you say Brad Hackett 3 times, he shows up.
Brad Hackett.
Howdy.
Hey, it's like the Beetlejuice of trucking.
If you know, you know.
Look out.
How's it going, my guy?
Such a passionate topic on something that seems so silly in the hiring process.
Right. Well, so here's the question. You having done it real quick before, we get your take on all of it and your experience. With these companies that are charging for it, can you pay a slightly more rate, like higher rate, to get expedited on the VOE once you've already waited because you had to pay for it?
There's so many different platforms. Like it could be one way on one platform and the other. And we have people in 2025 still using fax machines and everywhere in between.
So you can pay for it and still have to wait for a fax?
Yeah, in some carriers' case, yes.
That is trash. That is trash.
Can I pay an extra $1 to not have to fax it?
Yes, I would pay so much extra money to not have to find a fax machine.
Yes. But in seriousness, this hurts people and process.
To fax something.
In the year of our Lord, 2025. What?
So, all right, Brad, I got to ask you, you're out there dealing with this, I know that there's a lot of passionate takes on this. Who do you point the finger at as being the culprit here? And what's the motive behind it?
I really think it's two parts. It's greed and then lack of accountability. I think the greed factor is where all the pricing goes nuts. That at least from my perspective, I don't mind paying a nominal fee if I'm going to get that record instantly and get what I need and move on with my day. But you have folks like Equifax and The Work Number that are charging north of $100 for some of these VOEs now. And then now other players in the mix of slider cost factors and everywhere in between of not even getting full information and having to go through paywalls and extra stuff, and all the way to the point where some carriers just don't respond.
So they charge you and then don't respond?
I haven't seen that, but just complete ignorance and insurance requirements. Some of these you have to get the VOE to show your insurance, that even though they don't believe that motor vehicle record that should be fine, they want the VOE with it, that you're literally holding up this gentleman or this woman's career step that they're trying to better themselves over something you're required to do through a paywall.
Well, and the no response, I feel like that's always kind of been a thing, like a lot, probably more common than it was. But I mean, but like the paying thing. Do you also does anybody else think that it's weird that, like, let's say best case scenario, these companies are like, if you're good at something, which we are at sending VOEs, you don't do it for free, and then when you get paid for it, is it still weird that they don't pay their drivers for their 10 hours or struggle to pay them detention?
Yeah, it's probably another 3-hour episode, but...
Ooh, put me in, coach. I got a hot take.
I feel like you are the coach. You don't have to say that.
Man, but it sounds so great. All right. So, idea here. Drivers that might be tuning in to cents per mile. I believe this is going to fall on you to be your own advocate and start asking carriers, do you charge for VOEs? And if they say yes, hell with them. Go find someone else that's not going to hold up your hiring process and your fellow driver's hiring process, and choose not to support the carriers that are bad actors in this process, because they are slowing down you getting your job.
Oh, damn.
And lack of accountability as well. I've seen numerous cases where the driver literally turned the truck into the terminal. They're showing me picture evidence that they turned in the keys with the terminal manager. And you have folks out there that are putting like abandonment on a VOE, literally harshing this guy's career and this guy's record just because you don't want him to leave your company. It should be criminal.
Well, here's the thing. Listen, man, it's no secret. Been in the driver's seat, been in the carrier seat, been on the vendor side. I really try to look at everything from some sort of empathetic viewpoint to try to understand everyone's stance on this. This one, I thought about it. I digested it. There's been a couple times I wrote a post and then I held it back because I wanted to do a deeper dive. And the more I dived into it, the more I reaffirmed my belief that this is nothing more than greed, lack of accountability, and a lack of appreciation that you're working with real damn people. Look in the mirror. Try to have some dignity. Don't be a POS.
Well, and I think it also shows how the market can be dictated, because not everybody's doing this. Select people decide to start doing it. And because they did it, it forces other people to play along. Speaking of the vendor side, like, you can only do so much when the market dictates something, because you are running a business. And even if you don't like it, if that's what you have to do, like, you just end up getting stuck being a part of something terrible that's beyond your control.
And if you're on the executive team at a carrier and you're watching this right now and you're like, man, these guys are real passionate. Yes. And we're not the only ones about this. There's a lot of people, and the more this gets out, the more you're going to have more people rallying. You should be walking down to your compliance department, your safety department, whoever's managing this, and the first question you should be asking is, are we charging for these? And if anyone says yes, put a stop to this nonsense immediately. All you're doing is complicating the hiring process. That's already complicated enough. It already feels like flippers doing backflips to a burning hoop while bouncing a red ball off their nose. There's no need for this. This is ludicrous. This is, I would love for somebody to DM me and tell me why this makes sense.
Yeah. There's no benefit to it. It's not going to increase the quality of the driver. It's not going to increase the process. It's not going to help your recruiters. It's not going to do anything for operations. It's like,
no, yeah. And any driver that's listening, you should be asking this question, because this is delaying your hiring process. We already know that there's carriers that can take up to a month to hire a driver. Now we're going to sit there and delay it. This is almost as bad as the carriers that are like, we're pro driver, and they wait to the last day of the 30 days to give a VOE to begin with, because I'm going to try to re-recruit the talent that I've already lost. Hey, boo-boo, where's my picnic basket? Come on, find some damn common sense. These are real people.
Yep.
You don't get to toy with people's career and then turn around and think that you're not going to be called out for it. Like, this is just bad practice.
And I like that. I like that, emphasizing to drivers, if somebody's doing that, don't go work there, because that's long term.
Starve them out. You want to act like this, then hey, you know what? You make your bed, you lay in it. And I think that's Brad. I honestly think that's where it comes into carriers like yourself. I love that you were out there advocating for this. The more I dived into it when this was coming to the forefront of topics on most social medias where we talk about recruiting and stuff, the more I realized that here we go, the trucking blame game. Everyone's like, oh, it's the technology platform. It's this, it's no. It started with the ignorant carriers that said, I want to make money off the hiring process. Because what you're doing here is you're inviting more regulation. This is either going to hit a boiling point and someone's going to regulate something that's already over-regulated. And then everyone's going to complain about the over-regulation, but you created this one, so make your bed lay in it. Or we dial it back and say, hey, we made a mistake, the same way Illinois did when they put a sweet beverage tax out there.
I agree. My idea of freevoe.com and everybody gets on there is still out there, but that takes every carrier to get on there and get on board. And all we've done is have carrier versus carrier battles and new vendor players, and that cost just sliding on up just continues to compound this problem.
I think people have forgotten, like, this is required to move forward. It's every recruiter's bane of their existence, getting VOEs, because it was already difficult, depending on who, depending on where. And then it got better. You know, you had ATSs come out there and say, we're going to house all this. It's not going to be a charge. Put in your stuff. And you don't even have to respond to each one. Once you put it in there, it auto responds. I mean, what? That makes too much sense. But now all of a sudden people are like, well, this looks like it's getting too smooth. I want to delay people hiring people that used to work for me. How can we do that? And then you got a bunch of suits in an office. No, we can start charging.
It almost reminds me of like back. I mean, it's still, I'm sure still happens, but like those companies that, like, when you would ask for a VOE, would send you like a cease and desist letter from like hiring the driver who worked them, whether it was like for training or whatever. But it just feels like an extension of that. It feels like a further like version of like, well, we don't want you to hire them because we invested in them and spent time with them too, so we need to help incorporate that loss of the turnover back. It's like, just be better, and then you wouldn't have to give a VOE for that driver.
I think where it comes down to too is, I think people actually have to remember why we talk about speed to lead. Why do we talk about speed to hire? Because we're dealing with real people. And the longer that process takes, the more expensive it is. So if you're the carrier out there and you're like, hey, I'm going to complicate this already complicated process as a form of retention or recruiting, and then you justify it with, well, we're compensating our time here. Okay, cool. If that money mattered that much to you, you got bigger problems, by the way.
Well, thanks, Brad, for coming. Time flies when you're having fun about things you're not having fun with. Wow. So that really is probably the hardest we've ever gone on anything. But like, this is like even if we're friends, like this doesn't make sense. And this is something that's completely preventable. It's not really an opinion. Like Charles said, I would challenge anyone.
Change my mind.
Yeah, bet. Bring it.
We can be better. Carriers, we can all be better. Play nice to each other. Let's do what's right for these drivers in this industry and stop charging for VOEs.
Words of wisdom from Brad Hackett here on Cents Per Mile. You never know what's going to happen.
I mean, we do because we played it, but cool. Yeah. So, but that's we gotta go.
All right. Well, hey, that's a wrap on VOEs on Cents Per Mile. I'm your host, Charles Gracie.
Oh, it's not a wrap. They'll be back. See you next time.